We're going to call this meeting to order. We'll start with a roll call. Here.
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 Next, we'll move into a moment of silent prayer or private reflection. Amen. If everybody would please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And do we have a need for a motion for an executive session?
I don't see the need for one.
Okay. Moving on to 2.1 with our superintendent, we have the LHHS band recognition.
Good evening, members of the board, directors, our audience. I do not see anyone here this evening because I know they are very busy for break, but we did want to share that the LHHS band, for the first time ever in the school's history, qualified for the Arizona State Marching Band Championship at Glendale Community College. A recording of their show in the semifinals can be found on the band Facebook page, as well as a link for the championship show, which did happen last Saturday. Our band director, Kim Schreiber, was also honored, receiving the Best Director Award at semifinals out of 18 bands in our division. So we are just incredibly proud of our band students. You can see their picture there, and our director's accomplishments.
Their director's maiden name is Palmieri.
Okay.
That's good to know. They do construction.
They do.
Moving on to 2.2, human resources, we have our substitute recognition.
So this past Friday, we celebrated Substitute Educator Day across the nation, and we wanted to take a moment this evening to highlight the importance of our substitutes. The work of a substitute teacher is challenging and ever-changing. They serve as the vital bridge of instruction while our teachers may need a day or more of leave. In addition to teaching positions, our substitutes also support by covering hard-to-fill areas, including everything from custodian to librarian to personal care assistant positions. In the 22-23 school year, substitutes covered more than 33,000 hours of duty across all LHUSD campuses. We have approximately 120 substitutes that keep our schools running on a daily basis. We are grateful to all of the substitutes who have joined our district and support the education of our students and smooth operations of our district. Tonight, we are specifically recognizing those substitutes who have supported our schools during the first quarter by serving 25 or more days in our schools. So we have John Brazil. Carol Gochner. Amanda Mosley. And those who could not join us tonight, Claudia Gonzalez, George Breidenthal, Daryl Schendel, Crystal Perez, Amy Payne, Robert Williams, and Terry Habash.
Moving on to 2.3, we have the Lake Havasu City Education Association, and there will be no report tonight. Moving on to 3.1, we have our call to the public. We have Mr. Fred Case speaking about activities driving.
there's a white one? Okay. My name's Fred Case, and before I get going, I'd like to give you some idea who I am. I've been driving activities here for 10 years. I have a degree in business. I've been driving commercial vehicles for over 50 years, 30 years with Safeway semis. I still drive semis with my friends. I've been driving school buses as a sub and as activity driver up in Washington and here for 17 years. So it's not like what I'm going to say is that I don't have any expertise. I don't know what I'm talking about. I do. What I want to talk about is all of you thinking that activity drivers are substitutes. We are not. We have a schedule every week. Our schedule is not one that can go daily, because when we go to Phoenix, we're driving from 300 to 500 miles a day. That's one. I came back last night, and that was 450 miles. I put in 15 hours. We usually put in an average 14, 20 hours. It's not uncommon for us to be gone for 20 hours. So when we come back at midnight or 1 o'clock, there's no way we can come back and do anything the next day, because by federal law, we have to be off 10 hours. So we can't come back and do another run unless it's in the afternoon. We can't even come back and cover a driver unless it's the afternoon. We aren't really required to cover drivers because we have a job that is scheduled. 2 days, I can get over 30 hours. 3 days, I get overtime. When I've had 4 days, I've been around 50, 60 hours. And I've had 70-hour days where I've gone, 70-hour weeks where I've gone 6 days. So we're not part-time drivers, and that just floors me that we are treated like that. Here's the other gripe that I have. Really is a bad one. All the experience, I have a Class A. I'm not a Class B. I got a Class A. I got every endorsement there is to drive. There's nothing in this country that I can't drive that has wheels under it. But yet, you pay me $2 less an hour than somebody who comes off the street and grabs a job that they drive maybe 20 hours a week. They drive maybe an hour and a half in the morning to an hour and a half in the afternoon. They probably average about 50 miles in a day. The responsibility is great, but those kids that get hit by a car in the bus are going to get hurt. We're freeway speeds at 70, 75 miles an hour. Something happens to us, we die. I've been driving truck for a long time. I see what happens out there. And I know exactly what happens and how fast it happens. But yet you say that we don't have the responsibility. The way I know it from business and what I know from driving, responsibility, you get paid from your responsibility, what you have. But you're slapping us and telling us that, you're not here every day. You're only here a couple days a week or something. We don't need to pay you. Not true. If the three of us, which we can't be around here that long because we're not that young, if we should leave, or any one of us leave, you've asked somebody how much it costs to get buses to come in, the charter buses. It's about $1,000 or more just to get them in here. Then they charge you $500 just for a deposit to clean up. We're saving this district a lot of money by us doing this. And we're running our rear ends off because we lost a driver. She passed away. Now our boss, Mr. Kearns, is driving a full-time route. I'm driving routes. We are switching off on this other person's route to activity drivers. So when they're on activities, I'm driving the route. When she's on activities, I'm driving the route. This is what we're doing. Doesn't sound like sub work to me. Sounds like a job. It sounds like a scheduled job, and this is what we do. I don't sit home and wait for them to call me and say, could you come in to cover this? No. I got a schedule, and I run that schedule all the time. So I know this, well, I came here to complain. But I'm trying to tell you that you have to look at us as not something extra. I don't sit on an extra board. I'm not a substitute driver. I have a schedule. It's not, excuse me, it's not like what they have on the routes. They get routes every year. You can't do that with us because we got football, basketball, all these others, the clubs. Can't do it. We don't have any schedule like that because everything is different. What goes on from day to day, from week to week. And you need to understand that. You need to understand that you're not going to get anyone in here to do those jobs. We already got a problem because the person who passed away was our trainer. We need drivers. Who's going to train them? With what this district pays and what they require, no one's going to drive to Bullhead on their own time to try to get a lousy B license. No one's going to do that.
We'll look into the situation, Mr. Case.
You're going to have to, because you're going to lose activity drivers, and then you're in trouble. Because we're tired, we're very tired, and we don't want to be taken advantage of, and that's exactly what it feels like. I got a lot of experience, and you're paying me less than what somebody who comes off the street with no experience is getting paid. This is what manager always says. No, we only pay to experience. You have to have experience. This is what you look for the teachers, even the sub-teachers. What kind of experience do you have? With us, no. Even though we come in with a lot of experience. Two of us have over 100 years of experience. So keep that in mind. That's just my complaint.
Thank you for your words. Moving on to 4.1, we have our consent agenda. Do we have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I move we approve it as presented.
I'll second.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Moving on to 6.1. Moving on to 6.2, we have our student achievement, the ARC Grant Intergovernmental Agreement.
Mr. President and Governing Board, the Arizona Department of Education has developed an arts grant aimed at providing teachers with up to $1,000 for consumable supplies related to arts education. The $10 million arts consumable grant will provide successful LEA applicants with $1,000 per full-time arts teacher to purchase arts consumables such as paints, brushes, sheet music, dance props, theatrical costumes, and much more. These materials will not only enhance the learning environment, but also inspire students to explore their artistic talents and discover new passions. LEAs are eligible for $1,000 grants for each arts education teacher, including all PK3 teachers. Funds must be used by June 30th, 2024. The Student Achievement Department will oversee purchases to ensure they are aligned to and enhance the approved curriculum. In order to access the funds, LEA governing boards must approve the attached IGA and submit the IGA to the Arizona Department of Education.
I'll move to approve 6.2. I do have a question for a second.
Second.
So how will this work for receiving those grants? Will the teachers be expected to apply for them individually, or will it be a bundled
So we applied for the grant as a district, and then we will be in charge of procuring the $1,000 per teacher for every teacher. So Mr. Murray and I have talked about what that will look like. There's only certain items that can be procured, so we'll do it at the site level, and then it will feed up into the district level.
In this agreement, you read the breach, the breach thing where either party can declare it breached? Good.
I didn't catch that.
That's in the agreement. It says that a breach occurs when either party determines it's approved. So if we don't like it, we can declare them in breach and we can get out of it. If they don't like it, they can call us in breach and they can get out of it with us.
Yes.
Sharon Ryan?
Yes.
Lisa Romo?
Yes.
Erica Ron?
Yes.
John Mason?
Yes.
Moving on to 6.3, student achievement, we have our state tutoring intergovernmental.
Mr. President and Governing Board, in 2023, the Arizona Department of Education initiated the Achievement Tutoring Program to provide tutoring services for students in grades 1 through 8, with a focus on reading, writing, and mathematics. The program seeks to improve student performance, particularly in relation to statewide testing. Program tutoring will be delivered either by LEAs or private sector tutoring companies with the ultimate goal of bringing students to proficiency in alignment with national and Arizona standards. Students who participate in the tutoring program will be formally assessed at the beginning of the tutoring sessions and again at the end to establish a baseline pre-tutoring level, measure post-tutoring progress made through tutoring. Tutoring sessions will be provided in 6-week increments of up to 4 days per week. Students will be tutored in one area, reading, writing, or mathematics, during each 6-week increment. Tutoring will be available to all students in grades K through 3 and/or students in grades 4 through 8 who scored below proficient on any portion of the AASA test in 2023. Teachers will tutor 3 students per tutoring session. Tutoring through the ADE program will be paid at $40 an hour for time working directly with students. Teachers will be eligible for an additional $200 stipend if students are able to show a half-grade gain on the post-test. ADE is not providing funding for benefits, but is giving the LEA a 30% administrative fee for each student tutor that will be used for benefits, tutoring materials, and any other administrative costs. LHUSD already provides tutoring at all K-8 sites using Title I, ESSER, and targeted school improvement funds. Funds from this grant will be used to enhance current tutoring offerings. In order to be eligible for these funds, LEA governing boards must approve the attached IGA.
Because it's an IGA, it's the same as the last one we just passed.
I'll make a motion to approve 6.3 as presented.
I'll second that.
Kyle Lieberman?
Yes.
Sharon Ryan?
Yes.
Lisa Romo?
Yes.
Erica Ron?
Yes.
And John Mason?
Yes.
Moving on to 6.4 with business services, we have our office furniture replacement for the district offices.
Thank you, Mr. President. Board members, office furniture at the district office complex is mostly worn, damaged, and are no longer able to be moved due to the deteriorated condition. Many of these pieces are approximately 25 years old. Arizona Furnishings will be procured through state contract to provide furniture for approximately 35 workstations at an amount that's not to exceed $210,000. Pricing includes all quoted furniture, delivery, unboxing, setup, installation, removal, and disposal of packing materials, boxes, and of course, sales tax. Capital and/or other approved funds for this type of purchase will be used. This item was reviewed by district administration and purchasing. And just a note there, with capital funding is specific to furniture equipment. It's not part of our general fund, which incorporates purchase services, salaries, benefits, etc.
Do we have a motion or any discussion?
I'll move to approve 6.4.
I second it.
Kyle Lieberman?
Yes.
Sharon Ryan?
Yes.
Lisa Romo?
Yes.
Erica Ron?
Yes.
John Mason?
Yes.
Moving on to 6.5, we have business services with our vouchers, student activity funds, and auxiliary funds.
Thank you, Mr. President. Board members, approval for vouchers, student activity funds, and auxiliary funds are in front of you tonight for October 2023.
I'll make a motion to approve as presented.
I'll second that.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Moving on to 7.1, our informational from our superintendent.
Thank you, Mr. President. I would just like to thank our substitutes for the many hours that they cover in our schools. It is greatly appreciated. Our principals, our directors, everyone in our district appreciates that. We know that our schools need that support to keep going every day. And just also wanted to wish everyone a very happy Thanksgiving. We hope they enjoy time with family and the break, and we'll see everybody on Monday.
Moving on to 7.2, any informational from our governing board members?
I'd just like to mention brag here. In November, we held the ASU Math Challenge for elementary school students, 4th, 5th, and 6th graders. Over at ASU, we had over 180 students compete from 10 area schools. LHUSD, once again, did very, very well. They took 5 out of the 6 top schools. Top school was Starline, not far behind was Nautilus, with Jamaica coming in 3rd. It once again shows you that we are really doing well in STEM education in our general area. So just, I wanted to give that kudos.
Moving on to 8.1, we don't have any more calls to the public. Communication for future board agenda items, any suggestions? Any clarifying questions from the media? Then I will take a motion to adjourn.
I move we adjourn.
I'll second.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
This meeting is adjourned.